What's up guys, NepentheZ here and welcome back to another episode of the Draft to Glory. Today we are doing the future draft or the youngest draft. Oh hello, you can hear me in the background, that's because I've got my speakers on, that's embarrassing. We got again like near 7,000 likes in the last episode of Draft to Glory. Appreciate that guys, you guys are insane right now with the support. So there was a few really high rated comments. Christos with 400 thumbs up, got the laziest players. Courtly with 430 thumbs up, the non-A FUT draft. But the top comment, there was actually two of them. One's called the future draft, pick the youngest player, with 511 thumbs up. But there was also a very similar comment that had like 800 thumbs up about doing the youngest players. So that's what we're going to do today. So once again guys, if you could drop a thumbs up, let's try and keep this streak alive of getting over 5k likes per draft. Every episode, all the time. It's gonna take me a second to figure out who the youngest player is every time. So bear with me whilst that happens. So here we go guys. Messi, Higuain, Nainggolan. Wow, this isn't gonna be very young, is it? 87. So he was born first, so Higuain is the youngest here. Oh, Nainggolan on 88. So Nainggolan is the youngest player there guys. 85 Raja Nainggolan. That means we miss out on Messi and Ibrahimovic, but we will take Raja Nainggolan. Now, I'm going to play the low, like we've done with other drafts, I'm going to play the youngest player within their position. So I'm not just going to have the 11 youngest players out on the field, because it will probably be like a 20 chemistry draft, right? So, like for the striker role, for example, only the strikers will be eligible for the striker role. I think Guedes is definitely going to be the youngest here. 91 for Gabbiadini, 96 for Guedes. Yeah, so 93 for Icardi, also very young, but Guedes there coming in at 1996, 21 years of age. We'll pop him up there in the striker position, and we'll go for the right wing. Robben, Messi, Di Maria, Fekir, and Bale. I feel like Fekir probably is the youngest. 84 Robben. 87 Messi, 88 Di Maria, 93 Fekir, and 89 Bale. Indeed he is, and that's actually quite good because it gets a soft link into Guedes there, and I apologise if I'm butchering his name. I've been known to do it every now and then. So we might get a Neymar or a Hazard here. 92 for Neymar. There we go. So we actually get a really, really good player. It would have been so sick if that was the PSG Neymar, because he would have just linked up perfectly with Guedes there, or Guedes in central midfield. Fernandinho, Witzel, ooh. Could be a James Rodriguez here. 85 Fernandinho, 89 Witzel, 91 for James, 90 for Cruz. We indeed do get a James Rodriguez. I didn't realise Toni Kroos was so young. I say so young, he's 27, but I didn't realise he was that young. And 26 for James Rodriguez. I would have said Cruz was at least 2 or 3 years older than Rodriguez, not 1 year older. But James Rodriguez is the guy that we get, which is good because he gets a soft link to Neymar. He might not be the guy that finishes there though, just because of the guys that we're going to be putting in. So I don't know how old Ozyakup is, 92. That's it, so Ozyakup is the youngest. Kante at 91, but 92 for Ozyakup. He's going to go into the midfield there as well. And we move swiftly, guys, onto the defence. Dani Alves, definitely not. Lahm, definitely not. It's going to be Aurier, Walker, or Florenzi. 92, 90, and 91. So Aurier is going to be the guy. We're actually getting a lot of French league players, which isn't so bad. You know, maybe we'll get one good midfielder to link them up as well. Definitely not going to be Baines here. It might be Elisiu, I think, actually. 85 for Wendt, Baines. 83 for Elisiu. Wow. 84 and 1990 for Danny Rose. So Danny Rose is the youngest in the left back spot for the time being, and we move on to the first set of centre backs, and this is, god damn it, 84, 84, 86, 87, 86. So Ayala is going to be our main man. We're going to have we had a silver centre back in the Jurgen Klopp draft. I don't want another one. I want younger, 87, 91 and 91. Van Dijk the youngest of the two. Dragovic also 91. Van Dijk coming in at the youngest. So Van Dijk will be the guy that goes into the defence, which is nice because he gets a little soft link there into Danny Rose, boosting up the chemistry a little bit. We get some nice keepers here. I think 82. I think Blake is the youngest, right? Zanev, 86 and 90. Yeah, Blake coming in at the youngest from the MLS. That is our first 11. It's going to change a lot now. What I'll do is I'll take the youngest player from every position first, and then I'll put the youngest player into every position afterwards, if that makes sense. So our next set of goalkeepers might be Jack Butland here, actually. 93 for Oblak. 93 for Butland, but the third month, and Oblak is the first month. So Jack Butland is indeed the youngest goalkeeper here at 93, and Blake is 1990. So Jack Butland is the youngest goalkeeper that we've got so far. That's alright. I don't mind that at all. Next up, Marcelo, Lahm, Klein, Chandler and Florenzi. Now, I don't know how old Chandler is. It's not going to be Marcelo. Definitely not going to be Lahm. Klein, 91. Chandler, 90. Florenzi, 91. So it's going to be Nathaniel Klein. He is the youngest there. We won't, like I say, I won't change the team yet. Let me go and get all the players first, and then we'll change them afterwards. So Socrates, 88, is the youngest so far. 91 there for Luna. Luna's going to come into the team as well. And we move on to the next position. Carvalho and Casemiro both could be them. 92 and 92. Carvalho, the youngest there. And 94 for Delafeu. Wow, the dude's only 23. He's been about a bit, hasn't he? For a guy that young, he has been about a fair bit. Wijnaldum, Coquelin, Luis Gustavo, Payet and Phillips next. So 1991 for Coquelin. 87, 87, 91 the third, 91 the fifth. Coquelin is the youngest out of those. We'll go into the next position. Like I said, I'll make the changes in the main team after I've got all the players. So Robben is definitely not the youngest. I think Di Maria might be the youngest here. 88 for Di Maria. Yeah, he won't get into the team, but it'll be nice to have as a sub. Fekir is definitely, I think Fekir was 91, wasn't he? We get Edison there, might be the youngest player here actually. Alessandrini 89, Edison 93. Oh wow, this dude is young as hell, 95 and 94 for Niang. But we're going to go for this guy. He's actually going to be in the starting lineup. 1995 is, I think he's the youngest player we've got just flat out. Now Willian might be our guy here. 90 for Gaspar. 91 for Insigne. No, Willian's a little older than I thought. So Insigne gets in the on the bench anyway. I don't think he's going to get into the team. I think Neymar's younger. Muller's got no chance. I think Abubakar might be the youngest here. 89, 92 for Abubakar, 91 for Hazard, 89 for Royce, 86 for Mariano. So Abubakar comes in. That's not too bad either. That's a nice card. Again, a good sub spot. Next up, Belotti, a team of the season Belotti. We've seen a few team of the seasons that we haven't used before. Now that he's young, 93 and almost 94 as well actually. And there's Bakayoko 94. So Bakayoko is the guy. That's a shame. Belotti would have been nice. But Bakayoko is a decent dude to have. Pedro Leon, God, I hope it's not him. Mane in there as well. 86 for Pedro Leon. 96 for Dele Alli. And Dele Alli is the youngest player that we're going to have in this team. Flat out. 1996. 21 years old. Very nice indeed. And then our final pick is going to be... who do we got here? Oh, please, it's not going to be Lucas. Lucas is way too old. 93 for Gero. So it's Thomason 93, Torre 93, who's actually younger as well. Torre there and Lucas 92. Not way old, like I said, but definitely not the youngest. So Torre goes in. So that's our full lineup. So first things first, let's look at the goalkeeper. Blake, we've already got the right goalkeeper in. So Blake is 1990. So right back, Klein is 91. And Aurier is 92. So Aurier is the youngest. We've now got a left back. 91 for Luna, and I think it was 90 for, yeah, so 90 for Rose. So Luna goes in at left back. Delafeu doesn't fit into the squad because of his position. As I said, I only want to put them in a reasonable position for chemistry. As right mid, Delafeu doesn't get into right forward because it's two positions out, or centre mid. So I don't really want to play him just because I don't want to play him off chemistry, but he'll be a good sub. Coquelin coming in at 91 in centre midfield. Too old for him. 91 for him and 88 for Nainggolan. So Coquelin goes in there. Di Maria is 88. Fekir, 93. Fekir is way younger. This guy definitely goes in. 95. And he actually goes in instead of Francis Coquelin, I believe. Let me just double check that. So 92 for Ozyakup. 91, yeah, so Ozyakup is younger. And also, was it 91 for Rodriguez? So That's the 7th month, and Coquelin the 5th month. So Rodriguez is still younger. At left wing, we've got 91 for Insigne, and then we've got 92 for Neymar, so Neymar stays. Abubakar goes in at 92, and Guedes was 96, I believe. Yeah, he's one of the... He and Dele Alli are the youngest, so Guedes stays. Bakayoko at 94 goes into the midfield, and Dele Alli goes into the midfield as well. The only other last choice is going to be this guy, Toure. He comes in at 93. I think our midfield is already younger, so 94 for Bakayoko, 96 for Dele Alli, and 95 for Savic there. So that is the lineup, guys. The sad part is we again have a silver centre-back, which sucks. We've got an okay bench. I'm actually going to save a defender for the bench as well. We'll put Insigne on there. I'm going to save Danny Rose and maybe bring him on into the heart of the defence at like half-time or something. Is there a way to get more chemistry out of this team? Yes, there is. If we put Bakayoko there and then sort of Van Dijk around there, that gets us up to 57. I believe that's all we can do for this team. So that, guys, is the youngest draft that we could have drafted. That takes us up to 58. He takes, say, 57, 57, 59, and 59. Let's go for the League One manager. So that, guys, is the youngest draft that we could have drafted. I know I say this a lot out of the theme drafts, but I really don't expect anything out of this draft because the players are just not great, as you could imagine. Guedes has decent pace, but no skill moves, poor finishing, poor dribbling. Neymar is fantastic. Fekir is not bad at all. 4-star skill moves and a decent card. Not great, but decent. Dele Alli is okay. Nice and tall for me, which is good. Quite well-rounded, which I like. Bakayoko, very much the same. Nice and tall, nice work rates. And other than his attacking abilities, he's quite well-rounded defensively, but not amazing by any stretch of the imagination. You know, they're in the 70s still, not the 80s or 90s. And the same for Savic here as well. Not a great card. 4-star weak foot, nice and tall, which I'm hoping that the height and the power of this midfield might really help me. Luna has no pace, so that's going to be a problem. And our Ayala here also has no pace. He's old as hell as well. He's like, what, 28, 29 years old? 30 years old. He's 30 years old. He is 30 years old now. 30 years old, and he's the youngest centre-back that we got, or one of the 2 youngest centre-backs that we've got. Next up is Van Dijk as our next centre-back with no pace, and then Aurier, who is a good card, but no chem. Butler in the goal is decent. We've only got like 2 or 3 usable players here. I would not be surprised if I went out in the first round. This, though, guys, is the team. Let's get into the action. Okay, guys, as we get into the gameplay, the first opponent we'll come up against has a 90 chem, 86 rated 4-1-2-1-2 team. Some very nice players in there. Inform Aguero, Mkhitaryan, and Hazard. Alderweireld, team of the season, De Gea. Bellerin and Valencia, regular cards. Mane, Henderson, and Leighton Baines with Dwight Gale up front, who was subbed off around half-time, I think, for Cristiano Ronaldo. And things started off pretty well for me. Bakayoko here with a long chip through ball. And it is Fekir who gets through. He's got a 4-star weak foot, but he decides to take that with his left foot anyway, even though I positioned it onto his right. And he slots that one nicely under the goalkeeper. The goals didn't stop there in what was a goal fest of a tournament. Neymar with a beautiful scoop turn into some space, and then the great shot in at the near post to make it 2-0 to me. And it wasn't too long before it became 3. There's a good tackle in midfield. Bakayoko into Dele Alli. Lovely little 1-2 between Fekir and Neymar. Plays it into Guedes there. Keeper comes off his line. Beautiful little bit of shimmying from Guedes. Squares that to Fekir. Controls it quite uncomfortably, but manages to get the shot away to make it 3-0. My opponent made somewhat of a comeback with a great corner in. And a header there from Alderweireld. Of course, those near post corners are OP as hell. Brilliant finish, but it was soon 4-1. Neymar here with another scoop turn that gets tackled. It falls back to our midfielder, who lays it off to Dele Alli. Dele Alli plays it through to Guedes, who shoots and scores to make it 4-1. There was still time for another goal in this game, and it came from my opponent. The ball goes down the right-hand side to Hector Bellerin, who shoots and scores to make it 4-2. But fortunately for me and unfortunately for my opponent, that was the end of the goal scoring in this game. And that means I advanced in towards round 2, which of course I'm very happy with. I didn't expect much out of this team. Definitely didn't really expect to be able to make it through the first couple of games. So getting through the first game was obviously nice. And then going into the second game, I was, at this point, I'm literally like, hey, I'm happy here. You know what I mean? This is okay. And we come up against a really, really nice team. 98 Ronaldo, Messi and Higuain. 93 Felipe Luis. The team in the knockout stage, Hugo Mayo. The midfield is a bit weak. Not in like strength sense, but just like lacks much creativity, doesn't really have much pace, lack of skill moves. There's just no like clinical players there, but it didn't stop me conceding the first goal. Poor clearance here. I put a lot of power on that for it to only go 5 yards. It falls to Bruno, who slams that from range, and it beats Butland at the near post to go 1-0 up against me. And then it wasn't too long before the second goal came. Lionel Messi here got lots of space and plays an absolutely incredible ball to Bruno. And then Bruno taps that one home, and fair play for that pass. It was insane. You never really see that pass in FIFA, so I don't really like consider to mark for it. But that was great, and I eventually went 3-0 down as well. Bruno lays it into Higuain. Higuain shoots and scores. Of course, he's not going to miss from there. 4-star weak foot, insane card as it is. He's going to be scoring that goal every single time. So 3-0 down, guys. I was in a little bit of trouble. I kept my head about me. I tried not to panic too much. I was creating chances. Even at 3-0 down, I felt like I was like in a good spot. You know, I know obviously I'm 3 goals down, but I felt like I was easily going to score a goal or 2 in this game. And on the stroke of half time, I got a beautiful goal there. Neymar getting past the last defender, just lays it off into the pass of Guedes, who taps that one home. And then into the second half, a beautiful bit of skill from Neymar. Breaks open some space down the left-hand side for Savic. Savic cuts it inside to Neymar. Neymar back into Guedes, who finds Fekir. Fekir steps in front of the defender, gets a shot away to make it 3-2. We eventually pulled it all the way back to 3-3 as well. Ball comes in here with Fekir down the right-hand side, evades the challenge into Neymar, beats 1 defender, beats 2 defenders, has a shot and misses by a country mile. That wasn't the first time Neymar missed for me, but from the goal kick, I managed to win the header. That's why I was really happy having that big midfield. We spoke about that during the drafting phase. It falls to Fekir on his weaker right foot, and he slams that one into the back of the net to make it 3-3. And then in the 90th minute, I get the ball in the middle of the park. Ball comes to Guedes, luckily from the defender. Beautiful 1-2 with Fekir. He's through on goal. He just has to finish, and he does. So 4-3 in the 90th minute. Turning that around from being 3-0 down, I was very happy with that. No question about it. Going into the semi-final with this team absolutely made my day. I didn't think I'd be able to do it. This team is low chem, it's low pace, there's no skills, low rated players, there's a bit of pace up front, but that's about it. So to go into the semi-final, obviously I was very happy. We come up against an insane team in the semi-final. Team of the year, Ronaldo and Messi. Inform 97 rated Neymar. Team of the season, Vertonghen, Valencia, Felipe Luis, Nzonzi and Matos. And then also he had Modric, Inform Bravo and Koke in midfield. So like literally an insane team, no question about it. There was only 1 goal in this game, and it came from me. Neymar down the left-hand side causing problems again, creating havoc. We got past the last defender, hit him with the stop and turn on the inside, laid it off once to Savic, who plays it into Guedes, who's there for another tap-in. And fair play, although this guy doesn't have the best shooting, the best dribbling, he's got 4-star of course, and some decent pace, but he just always seemed to be in the right spot to just tap it in. He must have scored 4 or 5 goals from 3 yards out. So we move into the final, guys. Final was a very difficult game. We go into the final, we go against a 4-1-2-1-2 meta team, no question about it. Paul Pogba, N'Golo Kante, Fernandinho, Inform Aguero and Icardi. A decent defence. Matip with that height. He's got Team of the Year Neuer in there. He's got that Perrine Team of the Season card, who although he's quite short, is rapid as hell. Matip, of course, very tall to make up for that. And this is where, for me, things went wrong. I was quite, not on top of the game, but having the better of the chances. I make a great tackle there with Luna at the left back. The ref gives a pen and a red card. I don't think that was a penalty or a red card. I think that was a good tackle. What do you guys think in the description, in the comment section below? Do you think that was a good tackle? Maybe rewind 10 seconds and watch it back in slower speed. You can see me clear as day. I come in from the side, so not from behind. I win the ball. I don't take the man. He trips over me after I win the ball, in my opinion. So we go 1-0 down, and it made it, well, not the goal made it difficult. Having 10 men made it incredibly difficult. And I tell you what, at this stage in 60 minutes here, when I score to make it 1-1, I should have already been 3, maybe 4 goals down. After that red card came in, my opponent really started to switch his game up. He started playing a much better game, and he was outplaying me, no question about it. He was outperforming me. He should have scored. I made some ridiculous saves, a goal line clearance. He missed an open goal. He missed an easy chance. Sadly, his goal came from just some luck. Of all the skill that he put in, all the good chances that he created, that he he missed. His goal came from just a cheesy little deflection, which is sad. He eventually scored a third goal in extra time as well to make it 3-1. And then not too shortly after that, he scored the goal of the game to make it 4-1. The ball down to Paul Pogba here. The AI auto-lunging on my behalf, which really pissed me off. But what can you do about that? A fantastic finish from Paul Pogba to make it 4-1. I did get myself back into the game though. Fekir lays the ball through there to Abubakar, who I brought on as a sub. Abubakar manages to lob the keeper with a beautiful finish. Scores to make it 4-2. With 5 minutes left, 6 minutes left, I thought, you know what, there is chance here. You know, get one more goal in the next 2 or 3 minutes. Maybe he panics. Maybe I get a good opportunity. But unfortunately, my chance coming in the 120th minute resulted in me getting countered by Leroy Sané, who hits a right foot chip, very similar to Abubakar's finish, over the goalkeeper, and he finishes the game off at 5-2. But make no mistake about it, after the red card, I absolutely deserved to lose that game. Like my opponent just demolished me. As soon as that red card came in, the tides turned. I couldn't deal with my opponent. I was lucky to take it to extra time, and my opponent thoroughly deserved the victory. But this, guys, is going to be the end of the gameplay. Let's get into the packs. So, guys, we ended up making it to the final and losing in the final here. I'm really impressed with that as a performance. A little bit disappointed in the final from the first goal that my opponent scored. I thought, and I'll let you guys judge, I'll leave the tackle in. I thought I made a fantastic tackle in the box with my defender. I felt like I won the ball, and the ref gave a penalty and a red card, and it just changed the game. My opponent, he just dominated me after that. Fair play to him. I was lucky to get a goal with Dele Alli to take it into extra time. He probably should have just beat me in regular time after that red card. And then eventually the lack of defence and the lack of stamina told through the team. And he scored some nice goals. And I think he made it 5-2 by the end of the scoring. But at 0-0, I was on top. I was creating chances. I had the better of the possession. He got one counter-attack on me. And I can't even remember who it was that got sent off. I genuinely thought, when I made the tackle, I actually said to myself, even though I'm in my room by myself, I was like, great tackle. And then ref pulls it back for a foul and a red card and the penalty. As I say, I'll leave the tackle in for you guys to judge. Let me know in the comment section whether you think that was a fair tackle and a good challenge, or whether you think it was a deserved foul and a red card. But guys, to take this team all the way through to the final and only lose in extra time, I'm happy with that. I was 3-1 down against that one dude in round 2. I ended up turning it around and coming back to win 4-3. He could easily have beaten me that game as well. 3-1 up, I went ultra attacking, and he had a couple of really good counter attacks. Butler made some big saves. He missed an open goal, and it just seemed like, you know, the fortune was on my side. So to make it to the final, like I say, I'm very, very happy with that. I can't complain about that at all with that draft, with the way it worked. We've got a gold players pack and a premium gold players pack. Let's hope for an inform or a big flare. Would be nice. A gold players pack gives us a gold card. It's going to be Iker Casillas, 82 rated. Not really that important these days, is he? So nothing else major there. We'll send those dudes into the club, and we'll send those dudes up to the trade pile that is now nearly full. 23 spaces. I'm going to have to go and start selling all the items on there. And then our premium gold players pack as well. No big flare, no inform, no special card. We get Joel Matip upgraded. We get one of our players as a silver, but because he's from the Premier League, he might actually have some value. We'll send the other duplicates up to the trade pile. And this, guys, is going to be the end of the video. If you did enjoy it, be sure to leave a like, rating, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. But for now, guys, I'm out. Peace.